Hey guys, Kevin here bringing you a brand new video for today. I'm going to be talking about what I think of Dragon Ball GT and also linking it to Super. Now, before I get into this review, man, I just have to say today has been quite an ordeal due to what I've been thinking about lately with GT and Super. See, a problem happened where I somehow convinced myself that Funimation and the makers of Super were going to connect the story to GT, and I got so caught up in watching GT that I watched 16 episodes of GT today just to make sure I was all caught up so I could watch Super because I didn't want to get spoiled. But turns out Funimation and all of them don't give a shit about connecting the story to GT. So I kind of just watched a bunch of GT today for nothing. And along with that, I got really worked up thinking that the story was going to be bad because, I don't know, like GT was good for a good amount of it, but just the way it ended with, it was basically like they fast forward like way far into the future, like way far into the future. It was like, Pan was like old. I mean, like there was this guy named Goku Jr. who was the great grandson or great great grandson of Goku. I don't know. Like I was like, oh my god, where is this series gonna go from here? I was getting so caught up in it. I was like, ah no. And it just got so whack. But I mean, like GT though. Let's get into GT because I really just want to talk about everything I thought about in this series. First of all, let's get out of the way the fact that this dude Emperor Pilaf comes along and is the only reason why Goku became a little kid and sets the tone for the entire story just because he said, I wish you were a kid again so I could fight you. And his wish gets granted, and he doesn't even fight him. He just wanders off. You got your wish. Don't you want to fight him now? No. He's just scared. Oh, I guess he was just, kind of saying that he wanted that. Like, and it's just like, it was such like a stupid moment, because like, I actually had to rewind it just to see it happen. Because like, it was one of those things where like, it it wasn't like a big deal like what he said. It was just kind of like, oh, I wish you were a kid again so I could fight you. It's kind of like that thing you don't think, oh, that's not like a big deal that he said that. And you're like, wait a minute, that is a big deal that he said that. It was just kind of dumb in my opinion. And like the whole Oob training thing, like my thing about Oob is I think he's a cool character, and I think that he develops really well. I wish they would have made better use of him because I think he's really good in GT. But like the way they leave it off, Goku's like just like, oh bye Oob, sorry, gotta do my own thing now. And it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of like blurry there. But then like the whole journey, when they like go off to find the Dragon Balls, the Black Star Dragon Balls, I thought that journey itself was really interesting, and it wasn't as action oriented, which I didn't mind, and it was really interesting to watch the style of how the episodes were laid out, and it still had villains, and it was still composed like the Dragon Ball we know, kind of, but just in a sort of different way. But I really liked it up until a certain point when Baby came along. Now, Baby, man, I've got some things to say about you, man. Like, oh my god, you are the worst Dragon Ball villain ever. Oh my god, I shit you not. He is the worst Dragon Ball villain ever to hit the series. I mean, like, he was just so annoying. He was just such a brat. He was just a little baby. Like when he first started out, he was a freaking brat, an annoying pest, like a little bug that you're trying to like squash when you first see him. And then he does what? Steals other people's bodies to get his power. Oh wait, does that sound familiar? Oh, maybe like Super Boo. What? Yeah, yeah. It sounds a lot like that, doesn't it? And I just think even while they were similar, it was worse with Baby just because like his dialogue was worse too. Like I just didn't like his attitude, the way he talked. He was just so annoying. Like so annoying. I can't describe to you how annoying he was, and the fact that I was so happy when they finally got rid of him. Like, oh my god, like literally like you don't get any of your power from anybody else. I mean, you don't get your own power because of yourself. You just use other people's bodies, get your own power from them, absorb them. Like, I mean, I know Super Boo did that, but Super Boo was like cooler. I mean, he was like a cooler character. I mean, like, and to repeat that again with like Baby, I just think that's so dumb. Like, why would you do that? Like, and like just the way he talked all the time, like it was just so annoying. And I mean, I can't believe how he died. Like, literally, he just ran away, and that's when Goku kills him. Like, okay, like now I do gotta say, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I think that's pretty badass. I I think the character that came out of Super Saiyan 4 Goku is really cool. Like the way he acted, the way his attitude was really cool. But it became really stupid to me just because it at that point it came to realize like it was just another level like to ascend to just so that he could defeat the villain. Like it felt like levels were just so like insignificant. Like like I don't know, 4 levels really. It's just like I don't know what in the future of GT would he have to like become Super Saiyan 8 or something? Like I don't know. What I wish they would have done is just like introduce Majub more, make him the hero, or like I don't know, make Goku more of like the mentor, like he was at the end of Dragon Ball Z. I think that would have been cooler, personally. But I mean, like, it's just like it's almost like when they're like trying to like figure out what to do with Goku. It's like almost like the writers just sitting there being like, "Oh, what are we gonna do next to this series?" So it's just kind of like, I just thought that part was like really bruh. But I mean, well, it might have been kind of like redundant, I guess. The idea of like ascending to another level again. I did think his character was cool throughout the series and was a good presence just because of like how intimidating it could be while also being a good guy. Now let's get into not let's get into Super 17 and the resurrection of all those bad guys. I thought that was really interesting to see that nostalgic appeal while also keeping it fresh with like I don't know, new things that they did. I love when Vegeta killed Nappa when he was just like, Nappa, you're still the same guy you used to be, killing cities all the time, and he just kills him immediately. It's just like so awesome. Vegeta, you know Nappa. It's just like I like how Vegeta is just like way beyond that, like from what he used to be, like when he first came onto planet Earth. So I think that's pretty cool. And then like Super 17, I mean, he was really interesting because of how 18 and Goku defeated him. I really liked that interaction. I really thought all of that was cool with Super 17 overcoming Mew's rule, even though 17 didn't come out of it alive. It was still really cool, and I thought his villain was really cool. I liked his character. I thought he was interesting. The only thing I didn't like about 17 though is that the logic of it is a little bit questionable. So let's think this through. 17 became Super 17 because there was 2 17s somehow. I'm still trying to figure out how that happened. Somehow there's 2 17s, one in Hell who I guess got killed, and then one on Earth who survived. Okay, that's one thing that's confusing about it. Another thing is that somehow the 17 in Hell was able to communicate telepathically with the 17 on Earth, which I really, really do not understand. Like, and they expect us just to believe like, oh, they're doctors, you know, they're smart, they figured it out. Well, I mean, like, it doesn't take a doctor to really figure that out, honestly. Like, it could be anyone who could figure that out. Like at some point, like it just gets to the point where it doesn't require a doctor to do that. I mean, like, yeah, to create an android, yeah, obviously, like to have the technology and stuff, but when you're in hell and you're trying to communicate telepathically, it's just like that's not doctor things to do. It was just dumb. I just thought like the idea of that just like happening, and there wasn't like any real explanation for it. Now I understand they were able to create a hole in the earth like Piccolo did with Dende, because Piccolo figured it out himself, which I think is really broad that Piccolo ended up in hell. By the way, I think that's just it is what it is. I mean, it was to further the story. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. Anyways, I mean, the other thing that was really weird about it was that 17, if you think about it, two Android 17s, that's really not that bad if you do the math. Because if you think about it, Super Saiyan Goku could probably take out Android 17 alone, and then if you add another Android 17 in there, I feel like Super Saiyan 3 would cut it. I don't know. It's just like this whole power level thing is just getting like it got like way blown out of proportion in this series. Like it just got way blown out of proportion. Like it got weird. Like somehow okay, let's jump straight to this part where Goku, who couldn't defeat Omega Shenron as a Super Saiyan 4, somehow conjures up the power to defeat Shenron when he's not even a Super Saiyan. I mean, like, or when he defeated 17 when he wasn't even a Super Saiyan. It's just like, it's almost like being able to do that, become a Super Saiyan, was just like overrated at that point. But I mean, Super is different now because it's taking it from that part where Boo died. So I think it's better in that way. So that's a whole different thing. I mean, so I have a lot more to look forward to with that. But let's get back to GT. So GT, yeah, 17 died, and that was, we thought everything was going to be restored, but the Dragon Balls are being used too much, which I think was really appropriate with what happened with the dragons and them getting back all the negative energy coming out for using them too much, and they had to fight all the dragons and whatnot. I think that made sense, and I thought pretty much everything from that point on was good, except for the last episode. I'll get to that later, but everything from that point on was pretty good with them fighting off the different dragons and just how they defeated Shenron. Now, the one trope I had though was Gogeta. They hyped him up so much. I heard so much about him. And he was awesome when he was Gogeta, but he was only Gogeta for literally 3/4 of an episode. He wasn't even Gogeta for a full episode. It's just like, he was so awesome in that time. I loved him, but he didn't even defeat Shenron. And he just split apart. Like, he was about to defeat Shenron. I mean, it just, like, sucks. And then, like, Goku has to defeat Shenron by using a spirit bomb with power accumulated from out in the universe, which is kind of far-fetched, to be honest, because, like, I don't know, like, in the Buu saga, they had to use Mr. Satan to convince them to give their power. So, but in this series, all Goku has to do is just say, "Give me your energy," and he gets it. Like, so it's kind of like, okay, I don't know about that, but I mean, I liked the way it ended though. I do gotta say, up until when it fast forwarded years later, and that just got really weird, and I really just like got my mind boggled so much due to the fact that I thought, oh my god, this is what Super is gonna be like, and the fact that why did they fast forward this much? And it was just like, First of all, I mean, I don't like the fact that they made it so, oh, Goku's a legend, so, like, you know, you can't have him around, so Legend's gotta disappear, so he rides off with Shenron. So it's like, okay, you just can't just spend time with your family? I mean, that's what he does in Super now. In Super now, he's actually, like, he got this, spoiler alert for Super, you can fast forward like 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. But spoiler alert, in Super, he got 100 million Zenny as a reward, and Chi-Chi was like, oh, you can train on Kai's planet if you want, but just make sure to visit now and then. He's like, okay. So, like, he still gets to visit. So, I mean, that's good. That's what I like about it. It's just like, I hate the fact that like, at the end of Z, like, Goku's like, nah, I don't need to see any of my family. I'll just ditch them for years and just train with Oob. So it's kind of like, really? So I mean, I think they improved on that for now at least. So I'm glad about that. But man, GT, it was a good series. It was a good series overall, with the exception of a few moments. It's just the there were some little down points here and there, but the only real bad point, in my opinion, was Baby. Baby was just the cancer to the series, who I could not wait until he was gone. He was just so annoying, and I mean, I'm happy that Super is not a continuation of GT though, because I mean, like, for if they were to continue Super from like years later with Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr., and it's just like, I don't even know these characters. It's just like, what? Why would I watch that? Why should I watch that? And so it was just, it got really weird at the end there, and like I didn't even know, was it like Bola there, and like obviously I'm sure a lot of them were like long dead by that time, so like I feel like GT could have definitely gone without that part, but I mean, it doesn't take away from the series that much in my opinion. It was still a solid series. I mean, like, though I do wish they could have ended it differently. Like, I wish Gogeta would have been the one to actually end it. I wish they could have actually fused and ended it with 100 times Big Bang Kamehameha. Like, that would have been the best ending, but he had to use a spirit bomb. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it was still a good way to end it up until that weird last few minutes. But yeah, that's what I gotta say about GT. Overall, it's not that bad of a series. It's just, it really separates itself from Z and Super, and I can see why, I guess, Super just doesn't care about that series. I mean, they shouldn't anyways, because it's a separate thing. It's its own fan thing, I guess. Go figure on that. But yeah, I mean, it may not be part of the core Z franchise, but it's still a decent series. I would give it a chance if I had to tell myself, or if I had to tell you. But that's all I gotta say, and I'm looking forward to Super. I think Super is gonna be good as well. So I might give a video on my opinions on how that progresses. Maybe when the season comes to an end, probably. I don't know when the season's gonna come to an end though, because they don't. Dragon Ball series doesn't really care about seasons. They kind of like just pour out episodes. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I'll just keep watching the episodes, and I'll put out a video when it feels right. So that's that. So that's what I gotta say about all that. And so yeah, GT, a decent series. I give it 7.5 out of 10. I know that's a greater rating than Z, but Z, I'd give an 8 out of 10. Come on, I mean, I know the ending was shit, but I mean, that was more like an epilogue anyways, no, the more I think about it. So yeah, that's what I gotta say about this whole series overall. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. So one more thing I gotta mention real quick before I end this video is the theme songs. Now, the opening theme song I wasn't too fond of when I first saw it. I really didn't like it, but some songs just, they know how to grow on you, and I actually really grew to like it. Now, the ending theme songs are a different story, but the four ending themes songs are a different story. Now, the first one I really liked, second one sucked, third one was okay, fourth one wasn't that good. So I kind of had like mixed feelings about them, and I thought it was really weird that they just kept changing the ending theme song like that. So I don't know, but hey, first the opening theme grew on me at least, so I'm glad about that. And also I wanted to mention, I really hope I don't offend anyone by mentioning GT and Super in the same video, because I know people have mixed feelings about GT and they just don't want to associate it with the other parts of the Dragon Ball franchise. So I hope I don't offend anybody who thinks that. So I just like to talk about my thoughts on both at once. So once again, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.